Don't know how y'all deserve this, but you're getting a bonus video this week. This was about 6 minutes in length, and this deals with the plays discussed in the email. The coaches do occasionally send in some questions, complaints, whatnot, phone calls, and ask us to review plays. So this is what we do. We review, and we get back to the coach. If we made a mistake, we admit it. If we were right, we'll admit that too. So following in with the email, the first play the coach had an issue with. He said that this was an illegal defense. Basically, he was complaining that both linebackers moved out of the defensive box laterally. If you take a look at it full speed, let's watch the left side linebacker. Does he move out of the defensive box? Where's that box set? By the left guard. It looks like we're going to use a marker as the top of the numbers looks about the extent of the box on the left side. Does that left side linebacker go out of the box? No, he does not. Does the right side backer? Sure he does, and he can. One can move laterally, the other one's got to stay in the box or blitz. The right side linebacker also never retreats beyond 6 yards, as you see by the still shot. The ball's been released. That right side linebacker has not gone outside the peripheral view of the umpire. The officials were correct in not having a flag for an illegal defense on this play, and we let the coach know. But it was a good question, and hopefully you learned something from this particular play. Next play we're going to take a look at is, again, coach saying, hey, we got an illegal defense here, a double blitz. He stated the quarterback was in the pocket and behind the line of scrimmage, and both linebackers blitzed. And we had to break this down and go frame by frame, basically to determine that, yes, the coach was correct in his assessment. Line of scrimmage is the 20-yard line, so we got a good line of demarcation. Right side linebacker blitz. Quarterback stepped up in the pocket. There was no play action or anything that would relieve the defense of their restrictions against illegal defenses. Quarterback steps up. It was a very tough call for the umpire to make. Look how close it was. But technically speaking, there was a double blitz on this play, and we did miss it. It would have been a very difficult call for the umpire to make. Nonetheless, it was an illegal defense there. The ball has not been released. Both linebackers are in the backfield. That is a double blitz. Nonetheless, this had no effect on the play because the offensive receiver was held on this play, and any illegal defense, if it was called, would have been declined because the offense picked up the 10 yards on the hold against the wall on the receiver. Nonetheless, tough call for the umpire to make. Didn't make it, and the coach was actually correct in this assessment. Next play we're going to take a look at, the coach stated that the defensive back, number 5, went through the defensive box, but they got called for their offensive receiver, their motion receiver, being in the box at the snap. So we're going to take a look at it several times, and remember how we want these called. If the DB or the motion receiver going through the box are on the edge of the box and moving out of the box at the snap, we let it go. Don't call it. The only thing we're calling tight in this game is the daylight violations. So if you got the DB here, he's on the edge and he's moving out. Umpire proper. Didn't drop a flag for the DB in the box. The receiver, you can see him when we look at it again. He's on the right edge of the box. Again, we probably shouldn't have had a flag for that, but these calls are real tough. However, the back judge did have a proper flag for that forward motion receiver crossing the line of scrimmage within 3 yards of the right guard. So the back judge's flag was correct. The flags had the fact that the coach thinks we might have missed that offensive player in the box when he was not. As you can see, looking at the still shot, it's close. Probably shouldn't have had a flag on it. Net result was no effect on the play because that motion receiver was clearly within the 3-yard restriction when he crossed the line of scrimmage. And that's one we're going to call it loosely. It's got to be pretty obvious that receiver's within 3 yards. And here on the still shot, you can see he's clearly within 3 yards. So the net result on the play was no effect. Keep in mind how we want these motion receivers or DBs moving through the boxes called. Next play is real simple. We had to explain the rule to the coach, but he was complaining that number 5 DB again goes through the defensive box directly in front of the official. We'll look at this play a couple times, and obviously not a foul. The DB can certainly go through the box as long as he's clear of the box at the snap. Here, clearly, the DB is clear of the defensive box at the snap. no foul. Again, the proper no call by the umpire. The final play we're going to take a look at deals with the quarterback, and they said that the coach was complaining that he was called for an illegal defense when it was clear that there was an intentional hard count and hand flinch by the quarterback. And yes, this was discussed at pregame. The officials informed the coach that, hey, if your players see that and they react to it, we'll give you a call for a false start. But when you're looking at this play again, you'll see the defensive lineman, no one reacted. It was nothing. The only one reacted was that linebacker, and he's got to keep his eye on the ball. He shouldn't have moved, so the illegal defense call was proper. Nonetheless, just to be on the safe side, we did send this play out to the NFL, and generally speaking, if the NFL decides a play one way, we're going to go with what the NFL said. And what the NFL told me on this play, and there was a consensus on this, that there's not enough for a false start. There is some head and shoulder movement by the quarterback, but he's in shotgun. There is no exaggerated hand movement. This is a nothing. And again, so the illegal defense flag here was the correct call. That linebacker, he's got to watch the ball. Again, if those defensive linemen reacted, might have been a different story, but in this case, no false start. Have a great week 8.